With an area of 4 square kilometers, Saudi Arabia suddenly established the China-Saudi Arabia zone. Why is it a wise move? As one of the richest countries in the world, Saudi Arabia is a place that netizens call rich as hell. And now Saudi Arabia has actually built a China-Saudi Arabia special economic zone in its own country. This move has undoubtedly become the focus of attention of various countries, causing netizens around the world to gossip and cast envious eyes. What is the charm and far-reaching significance of this China-Saudi Arabia zone? How will it change the economic landscape of the region and even the world? Let us take a closer look in this video. Recently, with the support of Saudi Arabia, the first Global Logistics Forum was grandly opened in the capital Riyadh. The forum attracted tens of thousands of guests from more than 30 countries and all walks of life, from government and business. During the period, Saudi Arabia's Minister of Transport and Logistics Services Salah announced a shocking news to the world. He said that it is expected that a Saudi-China Special Economic Zone will be started in 2025. This Special Economic Zone covers an area of 4 square kilometers and is located in Saudi King Salman International Airport. This airport is expanded on the basis of the existing terminal of King Khalid International Airport. It is a national infrastructure construction project announced by Saudi Arabia in August 2023. The original airport has 2 parallel runways, each 4,200 meters long. The airport includes 3 passenger terminals and 1 cargo building, as well as mosques, control towers, etc. The terminal is in the same building, with roads connecting each other, including 24 boarding gates, 24 boarding bridges, 96 check-in counters, and other hardware facilities. After the expansion, it will be named after King Salman of Saudi Arabia, cover an area of 57 square kilometers, and build 6 runways. It is expected that by 2050, the annual passenger volume will reach 185 million and the cargo throughput will exceed 3.5 million tons. According to relevant reports, after the completion of King Salman International Airport, it is expected to achieve a non-oil output value of 51.4 billion yuan per year. In the future, this airport will greatly improve Saudi Arabia's transportation capacity. The China-Saudi Arabia Special Economic Zone, built in King Salman International Airport, is also an important symbol of the country's economic diversification. According to the plan, the economic zone will cover 3 functional areas. The first is the Logistics and Light Industrial Park, which will promote the improvement of Saudi Arabia's local supply chain, and at the same time make it easier to attract multinational companies to settle in and increase their own industrial production capacity. The second is the International Trade Park, which will simplify the settlement process for foreign companies, provide one-stop services for settled companies, and facilitate in-depth cooperation between Saudi Arabia and international companies. Finally, there is the Living Supporting Area, which mainly provides living services for employees of settled enterprises, so that more partners can experience the convenient and superior facilities in the park. From the planning point of view, this economic zone will focus on related industries such as manufacturing, logistics, and trade. In the future, this China-Saudi Arabia Special Economic Zone will provide more convenience for Saudi Arabia and other Gulf countries to cooperate with China in multiple fields such as economy, trade, and technology. We all know that Saudi Arabia is a rich country in the Middle East known for its oil. Its proven oil reserves are as high as 38.2 billion tons, ranking second in the world, accounting for 17.3% of the world's total reserves. Relying on oil, Saudi Arabia's economy has developed rapidly, and its domestic GDP has soared from $15 billion in 1973 to $184 billion in 1981. Saudi Arabia has quickly established its status as an oil kingdom. This has also led to Saudi Arabia's economy being highly dependent on oil. Crude oil and petroleum products account for 90% of Saudi Arabia's total exports. However, as a non-renewable resource, oil will eventually run out, and since the 1970s, when the oil dollar was closely linked, oil has become an important weight in the game between major powers. This also made Saudi Arabia realize that selling oil is not a long-term solution after all, so Saudi Arabia proposed the Vision 2030 with the aim of promoting economic diversification and getting rid of dependence on oil. King Salman International Airport, the China-Saudi Arabia Special Economic Zone project, etc. are all key to achieving the Vision 2030. At present, these projects have invested 200 billion Saudi riyals, equivalent to 379.34 billion renminbi. According to the plan, by 2050, the investment amount will exceed 1 trillion Saudi riyals. Relying on strategic cooperation between the public and private sectors, Saudi Arabia will be actively promoted to become a global logistics power and innovation center in various fields in the new era. Saudi Arabia is located on the Arabian Peninsula at the crossroads of the three continents of Asia, Europe, and Africa, and is adjacent to the two key strategic waters of the Red Sea and the Persian Gulf. In ancient times, it was an important hub for trade between the East and the West. However, with the rise of the oil industry, this role has been weakened, but it still has the potential to become a global logistics center. At present, Saudi Arabia's strategic planning can be regarded as a return to its old business. Although the China-Saudi Arabia Special Economic Zone proposed this time looks small, equivalent to the size of 560 standard football fields, it can play a significant role. Today, in the current global industrial revolution, in order not to be left behind by the wave of the new era, countries are actively seeking opportunities for industrial transformation. In the world, the country that has the ability to build infrastructure, adjust industrial structure, and expand trade markets for it is none other than China. Saudi Arabia has been one of China's largest trading partners in the Middle East since 2001. In 2023, the bilateral trade volume between China and Saudi Arabia has reached $107.2 billion, which is twice the trade volume between Saudi Arabia and the United States. At the same time, Saudi Arabia is also China's main engineering contracting market in the Middle East. For example, Saudi Arabia's King Port project, the Mecca-Medina high-speed rail project, and related infrastructure projects including Saudi Arabia's 120-kilometer-long Mirror Line, new future city that runs through the desert are all undertaken by Chinese companies. The Belt and Road Initiative proposed by China is highly consistent with Saudi Arabia's 2023 vision. In recent years, many departments, enterprises, and financial institutions in China and Saudi Arabia have been actively and deeply promoting the industrial docking of these two major strategies. Saudi Arabia is currently actively welcoming Chinese companies and Chinese products. After the completion of the China-Saudi Arabia Special Economic Zone, it is very likely to become a key transit station for Chinese products to go overseas to Europe and the United States. It is built in the airport, which saves a lot of transportation costs and time costs. This is also fully in line with Saudi Arabia's goal of becoming a core hub of the global logistics and tourism network. The Saudi-Iranian reconciliation, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and other events have led to a series of important changes in the Middle East. For Saudi Arabia, every step forward is critical. As for China, it also needs to find more partners to further expand its influence internationally. Saudi Arabia's special strategic location will also become a key bridge for China to open up to the West and connect Asia, Africa, and Europe. No wonder netizens have joked that the Western development is going to be upgraded to West Asia. What's more, although China is also actively promoting industrial transformation and sustainable economic development, its dependence on oil still exists in the short term. At present, 70% of China's oil still relies on imports. From 2019 to 2022, Saudi Arabia has been China's largest overseas energy supplier for many consecutive years. Although it was overtaken by Russia in 2023, its crude oil exports to China are still as high as 85.9591 million tons, accounting for more than 15% of China's total imports, which greatly guarantees China's energy security and economic development. The China-Saudi Arabia Special Economic Zone provides an important platform for Chinese companies to directly enter the Saudi Arabian and even Middle Eastern markets. As an economic power in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia has huge market potential and diverse consumer demand. Moreover, Saudi Arabia is an important oil producer and exporter in the world with rich oil resources. The construction of the China-Saudi Arabia Special Economic Zone will further strengthen the cooperation between the two sides in the energy field. China can obtain oil resources more stably through the special zone to ensure the country's energy security. At the same time, the two sides can cooperate in energy technology research and development, energy industry chain extension, and other aspects to improve energy utilization efficiency. In addition, with the acceleration of global energy transformation, China and Saudi Arabia's cooperation in the field of new energy will also usher in new opportunities. China can cooperate with Saudi Arabia in new energy technology, equipment, and other aspects to jointly promote the optimization and transformation of energy structure. The China-Saudi Arabia Special Economic Zone is not only a new milestone in China-Saudi Arabia cooperation, but also a model of global cooperation. Through this project, Saudi Arabia can not only introduce China's technology and management experience, but also cultivate local talents, laying a solid foundation for future economic development. More importantly, this cooperation demonstrates the deep connection between the Belt and Road Initiative and the Vision 2030, which will inject new vitality into the Middle East and even the global economy. Saudi Arabia's choice of China is not only an economic consideration, but also a high recognition of China's international influence. In this challenging era, the establishment of the China-Saudi Arabia Zone marks a new historical stage in the cooperation between the two countries. In the future, this Chinese oasis in the desert will become a new Silk Road connecting the East and the West, contributing more to the prosperity and development of the global economy. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more great content. See you next time.